Accept what is there. Accept to what's fair. Accept existence. Accept the good. Accept there's harm. Accept the loss. Terrified of heights, but that doesn't stop me, has this comment. Fear is what can make it not only work, but good. And the gun barrel reloaded in a manner of speaking. I'm not sure whether that shared, but I'm going to share this comment. And yeah, it's not a threat or anything like that if you don't understand what's being said. But sometimes what seems to come down from heaven fires forth from hell. Nargargole first denies his desires, then ejaculates till he thinks all is well. She wants to know all my secrets. But what reason has she given me to tell? I found my soul in the daytime and liberated it from being doomed in hell. So, comment or question, I see here that I was sharing my Yule time series on Shayatin after I finished my Iblis series. But all these videos that I shared today were initially were based on comments. Well, do I hate existence? No. What is hell? There's a town in Sweden or something like that, or is it Norway? There's one of the accessible realms of the 9-realm system that the Norse believed in. There's Gehenna, the south of Jerusalem. There's the realm of the afterworld that nobody really wants to go to. There's spiritual realms in the Janut category, or the Ashia category, the Klipoth, that there are realms of that people wouldn't want to visit if they knew what they were talking about. But there's also the hell of personal suffering, that things aren't bad in themselves, or they're made worse because people think about them and make them worse, because there's a difference between suffering and difficulty. Well, it depends on which one you're talking about. When you pass on to the afterlife, it's the crystallization of your thoughts, words, and deeds here. But you do find that, just like in this world, whether it's the afterlife or some spiritual realm or that you can access in life, we're talking about something that is not entirely just because we wish it to be. But people fool themselves their whole lives, and they think, and I remember hearing in church, because we're good Christians, if we have done wrong that's going to send us to hell, God's just going to lash us for a little bit and we'll be done. But even being dipped in lava, dying from a volcano, except a blast that basically cooks you pretty much instantly, it's not. Azazel, Malaktaus, Iblis, in the pentagram ritual that I share on this channel, I include the demonology by having Azazel atop. Now, you can have the spelling with the aleph, the extra aleph, or you can have the spelling without the aleph. And I've given meaning for that. But Azazel and the rest of the demons give humans a choice what they're going to be involved with them, how much influence and control they're going to have on their lives. That includes dreams and other things. I believe that Azazel, unlike God, may certainly have more revelation and is not as limited as to what prophets are going to be chosen. But remember, the complete removal of many people throughout history when it comes to business, it's best to consult someone in that field. Lighting and trying to create a sense of something around the item itself, that can certainly help in your business is the presentation. But one would have to contact somebody in that field. But not every, as far as Azazel and lesser demons, not everything attributed to them is actually even inspired by them. Sometimes people just make up stuff just to sell books. And I don't know what else to say. The 31st, Vine. So you got Shax and Vine would be the Goetic quinaries of the time. You'd still be in the realm of heliacal rising. If you break it into 12 different portions, October is more or less the hermit. So there may be themes that you can work out there, but a great presentation technique, and it works well with rituals too, is you have something on one side and on the other side. One may want to practice speaking in a calming manner, or if it's their sort of way of approaching, you may want to talk to people in a upbeat manner that will increase their heart rate and stuff. I have stuff on my, you click on the search bar in the channels, and you may find exactly what you're looking for even in the title, or there may be a playlist on my channel that answers your specific question. But if that doesn't seem to be the case, I think I've pretty much summarized everything by now. But if there's a specific comment and question on the most relevant video, and I will consider putting on either responding directly back to you or putting it on a list. But that is it for now. I do plan to do a live video on the 31st of October about it not really being Halloween. Samhain is a more important time, the cross-quarter night. The sympathetic spirituality, where you look at attributes, either traditional or purely natural things you can associate with something, is Odin. Now, how I think about certain stuff is I tend not to personify things. Like Al-Wadud, my place of worship that I will be in my evening video, if I do that tonight, is dedicated to Al-Wadud, the most loving. And that's, I don't personify that. So Odin as a god of wisdom, Tyr as a god of justice, and Guz as a god of fertility, I don't necessarily put male and female on what I worship. I try to think about that as something beyond. Other things that are gendered, I do think of that cosmologically. I do work with the runes. I do have a series on runes that I wrote recently. I don't know where I may during the darker quarter of the year, I may share that. There are different versions of different symbols. Now, different entities, whether you're referring to them in a positive or you're trying to repel them or something, you may find different symbols involved. The Hanged Man on the tarot cards, some of the tarot cards are related to the Odin myth. Now, just like the Jesus thing being mixed into an egregor, you have figures that could have been prophetic. And the runes, whether you're talking about the 24 system runes, the Bavarian and Hungarian and stuff sort of runes from 20-something thousand years ago, or the Viking runes, or the English runes, it all links to this idea that, just like other prophet myths, of the prophet is told the best expression of the language, and then based on that, the letters become symbolic. And one thing that I have a problem with in terms of runes is I don't speak the old languages of Europe. So I can do a symbolic sort of arrangement. And like, for example, I get a F, a T, and a B. Um, and so the thinking, that would remind me to think of animals. It would remind me to look at multiple sides of things. And it reminds me to think of what the first developments of a subject were, or what they could be. Oracles are just something you can put meaning to, and that's what I randomly, the first light that I notice on keys on the keyboard, that's how I interpret it. Because you got the F rune that's like, oh well, that, and you got the T, and you got the which other letter did I use? The B. Oh, the fe, but anyways, I'm going to have to put this down. I notice what time it is, so I'm going to have to end the series for today. But in my evening, the next one is going to be Sabaoth, the mistaken as an angel spirit. I don't remember. I don't know what exact title I'm going to go, but it's going to be Goetia number. Okay, well, private message me if and I'll consider composing a individual message that has to do with you, or perhaps arrange talking to you off this. I could use whatever meaning to compose a private thing, but I don't have a WhatsApp. I do have a Skype that I can that I can type you in after. I have I have afternoon rituals that either I'm going to do by myself, or I'm going to find somebody right quick to do this. This may be deleted very shortly, and I can't write this down. rbaiKhm@aol.com, or message me on Facebook. I do occasionally do live rituals, broadcast as live rituals on this channel. Nothing on my channel is edited, so you may want to be careful with that, but I have to go for now, so